everyone, I'm Chas, and I am in Fort a couple things for your yard. And while I get started here, I'd love to know where you're watching from. So again, I'm Chas, and I'm in Fort Collins. Where are you watching from? And thank you, Hometalk, for having me, and thank you guys for tuning in. So what we're going to start with is, this is my grandma's wash tub. This is what I'm going to use. You can. So I filled it with water already, and there's a rock in there you might be able to see. I will explain what that's in there for later. But what we're going to be doing is making an easy water fountain for your backyard. And it doesn't have to cost a lot. There's actually these wonderful kits out there. I'm going to show you one right now. This is the way it came to me. This is from Walmart, but you can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot, and a bunch of different hardware stores or online. So, opening up the package, you are going to find that you're going to get a bunch of little plastic things here. And what these are different pieces to make the fountain. They're different spraying devices. So I'm just going to set those there for a minute. These fountain kits generally cost about $20. But as a little tip for all of you, I got this one for $13 because I got it on clearance in about, July, somewhere mid-July. These things start going on clearance. And so I got this one for $13, but generally they sell for about $20. So this is what the base looks like. I'm going to cut the little zip tie off of here. And then there's a cord, like that. All right. I will tell you about a cordless version of this as well. But I'm going to show you this one first, and then. So there we go. This is the main part. It does have a filter in it, and then what you do from here.
Not really, but a little bit.
What you got from here is a little tube that goes up and down. This will insert in like that, and then this part goes on top like this. And you can adjust, this is your height adjuster for how tall you want it to be. And then, like I said, there's 3 different options. So we'll start with this first option and we'll put it in here. Pretty simple. That's it. That's all there is to putting that together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set it inside in here. And what I have the rock for is it'll kind of float around. It'll stay down there, but it won't stay straight. So I'm going to put the rock on it to hold it. One of my questions for you as I show you this. So what container would you guys use? Would you use a bucket? Would you use a flower pot? Sometimes you can get a hole in a thing like this so that you can run, like you can drill a hole in a bucket and then you can run this cord through and then you putty it up so that way the cord doesn't go up and over. All right, I'm going to plug this in. And then what you do with this part is you adjust it. There we go. An option. So again, you can adjust it so it makes more noise, less noise. You know, if you want it, as I make it worse. This is why we're doing it in my kitchen. My wood floors can wipe up the water. But just little twists to adjust your head however you want it to, there you go. There's the nice, pretty round circle it's supposed to make. And if you want it to make more noise, you can have it make more noise. So again, what container would you put a fountain in like this? I'm going to show you the other 2 options of heads, too, that you can put on this fountain. But how simple is that? So basically, a container and a $20 fountain kit, and you've got your own waterfall or feature for your own backyard. Where would you put this? I have this under my gazebo, but where would you put yours? So again, that's option 1. If you think this is great, please share this. And we have a giveaway today. And the question for the giveaway is, what project are you planning on DIYing this summer? And answer that in the comments, and you can win a tote bag. And please share. And you're supposed to share, too, to also be included in the contest. So share and answer the question in the comments. My question is, what container and where would you put this? So let's look at the other top options, because most kits come with 3 choices. So I'm going to stop this one so I don't make more water mess on my floor. There we go. Now this one looks, here's the first one, here's the second one. So we did this one, I'm going to put this one in. I anticipate, I cannot remember off the top of my head, I don't think this one's going to look a whole lot different, but let's put it in and find out. All right. So again, just putting it in. Height adjustment, so you want high or low, your choice. And then you just start twisting this lid down. And it's very similar. It's not quite as big. So this one's a little bit smaller and quieter. So if you wanted, say, I don't know that this would work in a bird feeder, but, you know, again, you can adjust the height on it. This one's a little bit quieter. So it's kind of up to you on the noise level you want as well. I like a little more noise for me. Now, as you can see, I've got one more head to show you when we do this. But as you can see, mine is empty. So I'm just teaching you how to make it. But what would you put in your fountain? Would you leave it plain? Would you just put some rocks? Fish. One question I get a lot is, if you leave, it does have a filter in there, and if you leave it going, it's supposed to resist the urge from, it'll keep the water going to stop that from happening. They do make this thing called mosquito dunk. It's a chemical you can put inside the fountain, and it's supposed to help take care of that too, so you don't have a mosquito problem. Now I'm lucky, we live in Colorado, so we live in a dry climate. All right, last fountain head. This is number 3. So this one's gonna be different. So I'm gonna go plug it back in. I'm gonna stick the top in. I remember this one sprays more if I remember right. I might have to, oh, you know what? I remember what I gotta do. That's my fault. This piece is to come back off because this is its own thing. So that piece only goes with those 2. This is its own. So this one just goes on like that. There we go. All right, plugging it in. Option number 3. And again, you can sink it down. It's going to go higher because you're putting more pressure through the tube. Sounds kind of pretty, huh? So if you like this idea of having your own water feature for about $20 plus the price of a container unless you already have one, which I did, please share it with somebody you think that might like something like this. Please, please send those likes and some emojis. I like those too. Maybe not the mean guy though. He's kind of mean. But I like all the rest. Okay, so some people ask about how do you have not like a cordless option. They do make solar fountains. So I actually got one. I was going to use it for the show. I was going to show you guys how it worked, but I was extremely disappointed in it, and so I didn't want to show it. And I wouldn't have been able to show it because it's basically a big circle, and it has all solar panels on it. Now, I think there's other solar kits that are like this that have, again, a cord that comes out in the solar panel, so then you're still dealing with the cord. But they do make one that's in it, and you set it in your fountain, and they do the different options kind of as you're seeing now. And they're made to set in bird feeders or different containers just like this is. But the problem with those are, unless if it is in 100% sunlight, it won't work. So it won't work at night. It doesn't charge. It doesn't save. It doesn't collect. There are some out there. The more expensive you know, the more money you spend, the more options there are. I'm putting my finger over the solar panel, and it stopped working. So it was so super sensitive that I wasn't really pleased with that. So I wanted to share that information with you guys as you make the choice for you. So again, 3 options, 3 different fountains, 1 kit, and 1 container. Plug it in, and you've got your own special feature for your own backyard. So again, if you like that, please, thumbs and hearts always appreciated, smiley faces, and also please share that with anybody who you think might like that. All right, I'm going to turn this off. And we're going to move over to my kitchen counter. Brielle, don't wipe out on the water that's on the floor. Okay. We're going to make one other thing today. So this is a chandelier. Let me move the fountain stuff out of the way here. This is just a chandelier I picked up at Arc thrift store. And I'm going to turn it into a solar chandelier. Something for your backyard, something for different things. So these were those little plastic things they put over to make it look like candles. I don't want those. I'm going to get rid of them. Then basically what you do is you just start taking it apart however you want to. Now, you wouldn't have to take this all apart. Let's see, I'm winding it up, so I think I need to get my wire things. You could just like snip out your wires if you wanted to. There we go. You could just snip your wires out and not have to pull it, but what you're gonna do with this is you're gonna pull it apart and you can make it however you want. So I made one before. It was an old brass, really old brass, dated chandelier. And I had no idea how many pieces and parts there were to all these things. So as you start pulling it apart and putting it together, you can kind of mix and match whatever you want to as you do this, which is kind of cool. If you had a solar chandelier at your house, where would you put it? Or do you know someone who might want, again, share this if you know somebody who's like, oh my gosh, I would love to have one of those on my porch or in my backyard. And we're going to start pulling this apart. So don't forget to get in on the giveaway. And we want to know what you are planning to DIY this summer. Brielle, do we have, as I'm cutting some of these, have you seen some ideas?
Fairy gardens and door wreaths. Someone wants to do a chandelier.
Oh, good. And I love all the ideas that you guys send in, because I do read all the comments, so I appreciate you commenting. And if you have questions, I do go back and I try to answer any questions. And then Hometalk is always so good about giving everybody the links to the posts that will give you the instructions on how to do this as well after the fact. So when the show is all done. All right, so I'm just going to keep taking this apart. What's the weather like where you guys are at? It's, we've had typical June weather here where we get, kind of nice weather where it gets up to 80, and then in the middle of the afternoon we get rain showers, which is kind of great because it cools it down. Not so great if you are taking your kids out and you're trying to be outside, but there we go. So yeah, tell me what the weather's like where you're at. And again, I like to know where you're watching from. Again, thank you for being here. Do you guys have any summer plans? Are you going anywhere this summer? Anybody saying anything about where they're going? Brielle's smiling, so.
I was just reading all the different weathers because we got, it's super hot in both Texas and Arizona. It's raining in Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Drizzly and cool and gloomy, but I don't know where that is. Cloudy, mid-70s. Kentucky has great weather, someone says.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I remember the first time I made one of these, the one thing I was concerned about was will I be able to remember how to put this back together? So we're going to test that theory again today. Again, your only real reason for pulling this apart is to get the cord out. And you wouldn't really have to. You could just cut it down. I just like to get it out because, I don't know, I guess I always worry about what might be building. Is that wire in there going to cause grief to anything else? Would a bird be able to get into it and I don't know, probably overreacting, but anyway, so we are going to go to Europe this summer. So if anybody's been to France, Scotland, or England, yes. Any tips of where we should go, please let me know, because we like to know some really great places to go visit, and I like to know you know, there's always the tourist attractions and stuff too, but, you know, we love like the hole-in-the-wall restaurant, you know, where you're going to go. The hole-in-the-wall place. Okay. Try to remember what I'm doing here, because, like I said, I'll get it all apart and then I'll forget how it goes back together. All right, here we are inside now. And I may end up cutting some of this just so I can pull it out one way or the other a little bit easier. I remember the first time I did this, it was super simple, but there's extra threading in here I see now that's maybe going to be a little challenging to get undone. So maybe I'll try to go the other way. Now, with my first one, it was brass. And you can leave it brass if you want. This one obviously is more of a pewter color. And you can paint it. You can paint your chandelier. So I will show you the first one I made because I ended up painting it kind of the color of our backyard furniture because we have wrought iron furniture. So I kind of painted it to match that because I had also repainted our wrought iron furniture because it was looking a little pathetic. All right. Can't see which cords I cut so I could pull them. Let's see if I can get these out there. This one is in here a lot tighter than my first one. And that happens, like I said. There we go. Get some of that out of there. But what color would you paint your chandelier? Would you leave it? Or would you leave it or would you color it? Would you make it like a bright color? All right, come back out of there. Any color choices, Brielle? Has anybody got some colors coming through?
I got pink.
Pink.
Bright blue.
Nice. This cord especially, this is the one that was through the chain that I really didn't want in there no matter what. The rest of them don't stick out so much and I can make that better, but this one I just really didn't want sticking out up top. There's a safety wire in there. Does anybody know what that safety wire is? It's in case your chain breaks. Hopefully your chandelier won't hit the ground. All right. There we go. Get all that out of there. Okay. So this looks pretty curved, and it looks like I'm not really going to be able to have good luck getting the rest of that out of there, so I'm going to cut it down as much as I can to get it out of the way. But I got the main one out that I didn't really want to visibly see anymore, because that is just visually not appealing. What is you guys' favorite summer memory? You guys have favorite summer memories? Could be a childhood memory, could be an adult memory. Either way, I like reading those too. One more and then I'm done with the center. Probably would have been better if I cut one wire at a time instead of two. There we go. All right. Now, the big thing is remembering how it went back together. So this was on the bottom. That was on the top. This was in the middle. Now, if you don't want pieces and parts in it, like if you didn't want this thing on there, you could just change this up and make it different. Oops.
think I'm doing this backwards. See, I am forgetting how it went back together. Way to go. I did this the wrong way. Okay. That's the top. This is the bottom. And then this goes in here. All right, flipping that over. This way. Nope, this way. All right. Now, let me balance that for a minute. Trim these up because I'm going to use my solar lights on here, so I want these to go away. What are some people's favorite summer memories? Have they been writing that down?
Someone said one summer they went to the Smoky Mountains. A trip to Arkansas.
Nice.
Redecorating the house. Climbing Grandma's apple tree.
I just realized I forgot that piece. I'm still doing something not quite right here. I will fix that later. So it's loose right now. Something moved on me, but I know that goes back together. All right. Stay. All right. So I'm missing a piece, and I got it unscrewed too loose, but keep moving on here. So you could just use these like this. And what I'm going to do is just, I have these solar lights, I'm pulling the base off, and then of course the tab out, right, so it works. Right, and then that one broke in there. Gotta love that. There we go. And you could just do that. So if you like that look instead, you could just do that all the way around. If you like the plates in there, you can do it this way. I'm actually going to do it this way. I'll show you my other one is done more this way, but I'm going to save this way and you'll see why. So I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to be able to put these on like that. So let me get all these all the way around. And then what I do with these, again, is pulling them apart. So I got all 4, or 5, I mean. There's 5 on this one. And these all just came from the dollar store. So this chandelier I spent, I think it was $7, and then these solar lights were $1 each. And I'm going to stick them in there like that. So this is just silicone. And I tried to pick one that, we have a lot of weather fluctuation here in terms of wind, rain, snow, heat, all the above. So I'm gonna put some silicone in here. And I'm gonna put that on there like that. The tricky part is getting it to, so it's not going to stay. So I'll need to balance it so it can dry, and it needs to dry 24 hours. So I might need to put a little hot glue around there to stabilize it, and then you can pick the hot glue off later, or tape. Any of that would be fine. All right, so then after I get that all the way around with all the lights on,
Someone asked why you wouldn't use hot glue.
oh, but it wouldn't work outside. It's not going to stay. Oh, man. All right. Let me just explain what I'm doing. I'm going to get my other one out so you guys can see the finished product, since this one is going to give me grief today. So the answer to the question on the hot glue is the weather to flux. So if you get cold, it's going to get cold. If you get hot, it's going to get sticky and gooey again. So over time, it's going to loosen up and it's not going to hold anymore. And so we do what this is doing, which this is because it's not dry. So then let me just show you what I'm going to do with this one, and I'll bring my other one out. So this is going to go on like this, and then I'll let that dry. And then I have these jars, because I know a lot of people talk about climate and rain and different things. And then I'm going to put these, of course this one is this type. Man, it's my luck today. I actually tried these, and they're all different sizes. Here we go. This is the one. Nope. Darn it. I did try this, I swear. Oh my gosh. Seriously. It is definitely not my show today, is it, guys? Maybe I grabbed the wrong light. All right, well, anyways, there we go. Nope. God dang. All right. I'm going to put these over the top of them. I do not know why it's not going over this one today. It did. I tested them all, and I was so proud. I was like, they fit, and they were going to look so cool. And now, I don't know. I must have one that's weird size compared to all the rest. But anyway, so this, moving that, will go over the light when I get it done. Today was just one of those weird days that I'm having bad luck. So forgive me for that, please. But let me get out the finished product. Let me move this one out of the way, because obviously that one's going to be more challenging. So here is the brass one that I made. So it had a big, huge center thing, a bulb, a big bulb thing down here. And I pulled it all apart, pulled the wiring all out, let the silicone dry. This one sat a little more stable for me. I remember that. And then it's going to hang. And I actually have this one on my front porch. And the more light a solar light gets, the better off it's going to be. So this one gets a couple hours. It gets indirect light, so it runs about 3 to 4 hours. And then I have one in my backyard that's in a gazebo, and that one has a clear top gazebo. It's got like a UV protectant. That one runs a lot more because it gets a lot more sun. So this is what it will. I mean, yours will look different, of course, because each chandelier is unique. And, you know, as you can see, I had glitches with mine today because it's different from the first one that I did. So if you like the chandelier idea, please share this with somebody else and they'll learn how to put it together. Again, this is spray painted. It was brass. And then I just siliconed these on. Took 24 hours to dry, and then they were ready to go outside. So if you like it, please share. Likes are appreciated. And let me go back. As last chance to get in on the giveaway, what are you making this summer? Go ahead and send that in the comments. So again, we made a chandelier. Well, that one is still in the works because my glue wasn't drying. But this is a completed one of 2 that I have. And then I will move that here. And we'll go back and look at our water fountain again. Turn that on. Again, super simple. Just a container and a fountain kit, and you've got your own water feature for your backyard. So, sorry that my chandelier was being difficult with me today, but at least you got to see the finished one. And I will post the finished one of that one on the same post when I get it all glued for you guys to see too when it's done. Thank you, Hometalk, for having me. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another live. And there will be another live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And is there a winner?
It's Tiffany.
Congratulations, Tiffany. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for your
and I will see you next week.